Good evening, parents, and welcome. We are so excited to have a parent university this evening. We are going to be talking about our one-to-one digital learning program. And thank you very much for joining us. You are going to be learning about our management systems, Seesaw or Schoology. Your students, teachers going to be utilizing both of these learning systems throughout the course of the year. So I have a couple people I'd like to introduce before we get started. Our Franklin's instructional technology coach, Sophia Garcia. Welcome, Ms. Garcia. Then we have our technologist, Kathy Whiff. Welcome, Mrs. Whiff. And also we have our assistant principal, Kristen Williams. Welcome, Mrs. Williams. So we're all going to be on here tonight, but actually Sophia and Kathy are going to be the main people that are going to take you on a tour of the devices and give you the information that you're going to need to help make sure that your students are able to get online during their first days of school.
Okay, thank you. And we're going to start off with a video that's going to walk you through a parent presentation. You are going to have access to the link to the Google Slides through the chat box, so please check that shortly for that information. And just keep in mind that you can ask your questions in the chat box at any time, and we will stop in between the video and at the end to answer any questions that you may have about information that was shared with you. So thank you for coming again, and thank you for listening to the presentation.
Niles School District 64. So for everyone new to using technology and getting their Chromebooks for the first year, this is very exciting. We believe that there are 3 pillars to student success. The pillars are parents, students, and district. We're all responsible equally for helping our students be successful. We also just wanted to quickly show you some examples of a home learning space. Since we are starting off the year with remote learning, it's great to have a designated space where students know where they can find the materials that they'll need to be successful. So again, here are just some examples. You do not need to do anything this way. We just wanted to give you some ideas as resources. Student expectations for their Chromebook. You should use your device in a responsible and ethical manner. Follow the D64 One-to-One Digital Learning Program Handbook, which is linked on the presentation. Obey school rules and acceptable use in our policy. Care for the devices and bring to school daily or have them ready for remote learning at home. Again, they should be fully charged at the start of the day, or you should make sure that the students have their desk set up somewhere, their learning space set up somewhere at home where they can have their Chromebook plugged in. The family expectations for helping their students be successful with the Chromebook are to talk about values and standards that your student should follow, monitor your student's internet activity, and instruct your student on proper digital citizenship, and help your student maintain the Chromebook as a one-to-one learning tool in the pursuit of academic success. Family tips and ideas. Have a family planning meeting regarding the Chromebook. Have a designated place at home to keep devices for charging and off time, and communicate with child's teacher about what the Chromebook might be used for. So again, I know that things look a little bit different as we're remote learning, but regardless, there should always be a spot for students to know that they are plugging in the device at the end of the school day where it could be charged. It's up to you to have separate rules at home for non-school hours and what the device could be used for, and setting up your expectations for that. As far as district expectations, we will provide a device for students to use. At school, we will provide internet access for students to use. We provide internet filtering through a program called Securely, and we'll touch about that at the end, and provide an effective learning environment for seamless integration of one-to-one learning. Securely filtering, this is what the district uses for Chromebooks, and it's set up to provide filtered online activity through Securely. While these measures are not foolproof, internet filters layer in safety for students as well as monitoring online activity. And at the end of the slideshow presentation, we'll show you how to access Securely as a parent for home. Caring for your Chromebook. So students should be gentle with their Chromebooks. Keep it clean, no food or drink near the device. Always transport your Chromebook in the provided case with straps and accessories. You should have a name tag on the case for easy identification, and no stickers or personal decorations should be on the devices. Helpful tip, use a microfiber cloth to help keep the Chromebook clean. These Chromebooks are touch screens, so you may need a cloth to clean that on a fairly regular basis. Printing. If your home printer has a USB cable, you should be able to connect it to the Chromebook for printing. If needed, use a home device like a desktop or laptop, and you can always log into the student's Google user account to access drive files and print. The majority of the work that students do and complete would be saved either in their Drive, on their Schoology account, or on their Seesaw account. So they'd be able to log into any home device that you have and pull up their files if there was a need to print them. You can also open the presentation, and there's a click here link to see if your printer is compatible with wireless printing from the Chromebook. Not all printers are. Loaners. So loaner Chromebooks are available in each building for students that do not have their device that day. However, loaners are limited and students may get a consequence after an excessive amount of loaner checkouts. So obviously if we're back in school, if it's hybrid or full, we do have a procedure where the classroom teacher would send a student to the library and they can check out a loaner for the day. If something happens to your Chromebook at home and for some reason it is not working, you would fill out a form through the parent portal to be able to reach a technologist. And we will have a handful of loaners available if for some reason something breaks on your Chromebook device. So this would be during remote learning used less for forgetting the Chromebook and more for if your Chromebook breaks. That being said, we are trying to offer some basic troubleshooting skills. So the first thing we always say to do is restart your device and check the Wi-Fi connection. If that doesn't work, then you want to contact your student's teacher right away with issues just so they can be aware and help you either A, troubleshoot and problem solve, or B, so that they're aware of why a student isn't online and participating. Teachers, again, will help troubleshoot and direct with assistance as needed. And if you still need help, there's that parent portal where you can complete the technology support ticket and your building technologist will reach out to you to help you troubleshoot. Maintenance and repairs. We like to stress this now that students have their own devices, there are some responsibilities. The Chromebooks have been purchased by the district and carry a standard 1-year warranty plus an additional 3-year coverage term. The district's 64 technology department will manage the facilitation of all warranty repairs, but warranty repairs do not include physical damage. So the physical damage charges, the chart is here on the right. Oops, sorry. A level 1 charge is $20, level 2 is $50, level 3 is $70, and then there's also a full replacement charge. And if it came to that, that's where your building technologist would send home a form making you aware of any charges incurred. A helpful note is all of the Chromebooks do come with a stylus on the bottom. Those are expensive. They work great with the Chromebooks. But it's up to you if you want to come up with a system for your child while they use the stylus, and or if you just want to hold on to it and use a different stylus during the school year, and then you would have the stylus, you'd be able to put it back into the Chromebook at the end of the year for the check so that you don't have to worry about the cost of that replacement. All right, signing into the Chromebook. So at device pickup, you should have received a handout that states your student's username and password. If you did not attend device pickup, you can find your student's login information on the PowerSchool Parent Portal. Again, the URL for that is right there. And your handout sheet looked a little bit something like this. It tells you how to connect to the Wi-Fi, a little bit about printing, and on the top right, there may have been your student's sign-in information. If you want to sign on right away and you can't find that, and maybe you're struggling to log into the parent portal, it is the same one that you use to register your students. I can tell you quickly that the pattern is like this. So if you're second grade, it's going to be the student's graduation year, so 2027, graduation of 8th grade. The student's first letter of their first name, the entire last name, at studentsd64.org, and their password will be case sensitive. It'll be capital D64 and then their 900 number. And then if you're in 3rd grade, it's 2026, first letter of the first name, whole last name, at studentsd64.org. So if you're having trouble figuring out your username and password, those are the 3 ways that you can figure that out. So this form, the link, or that formula that I just shared with you. Seesaw will primarily be used by 2nd grade for students to access classes, daily schedules, activities, and messages. So we're going to start with where 2nd grade would start their days. To sign into Seesaw on a Chromebook, first you're going to click on the D64 Seesaw bookmark in the My School app. So this is a screenshot right there, folder. Or you can simply type in seesaw.me to get to Seesaw. Then you're going to click the Sign In with Google button. Okay, so you will not type in an email address or a password. They will be signing on with Google. And then when they choose an account, make sure they pick their d64.org account to sign in. This is once they've signed into the Chromebooks. Navigating Seesaw. So the student's name and account and classes are all found in the top left-hand corner. The name of the class that they're currently in and viewing is right here on the right-hand side. Announcements from the teacher, including the daily schedule, will be in the inbox. Lesson activities and a to-do list will be found under activities. And a journal will be where your students' completed activities will appear. Navigating Seesaw. To get from one class to another, a student's going to click on their name on the top left, and there will be a drop-down menu with different class titles there. So that's how they'll have to switch between. So they'll switch from their homeroom to their specials classes. So again, to view the announcements in the daily schedules, they'll click on the inbox. This is what the activities page looks like. So you can see work that students have to in the to-do list. In progress will be if they've started and saved a draft to continue, or if a teacher is sent to work back and they want you to redo it, it would also show up in progress. And done is where work turned in by the student would appear. There is also a separate app called the Seesaw Family App that you can install on an iPad or on a phone. It's an application that can be downloaded directly onto personal devices, and your teacher will be able to let you know when and how to access the family application. It wouldn't be until September at the earliest if they were choosing to use it. We're just trying to keep things simple for everybody in the beginning. So that being said, I'd like to give you a quick walkthrough from a student point of view. So if I've signed in to a student, this is our sample student, Sneezy. This is what Sneezy's homeroom might look like. So I can see the work that I've already done in my journal, and it's waiting for teacher approval, which is fine. There's nothing to do there. If I wanted to see what my schedule was for the day, I would go to the inbox, and I can click on my schedule and look at it. And my teacher will probably have a link to the video call right there in the schedule. If I go to activities, I see all the activities assigned. But if I'm under the to-do folder, if I click on the folder And I know it's math time. I can just go to math and see if I have any math activities. Here I don't have any math because I've done it already. I can go to science or SEL if it's SEL time and see my to-do list just for that subject. So that's a really nice feature. Okay. If I go back to my home screen, which is my journal, I can also click on the calendar and look at things in a calendar point of view as well. Again, school hasn't quite kicked off yet, so I don't have any work from specific dates submitted. And then again, to toggle, if I wanted to say it's art time, I click on my name and I'll switch to art. And then I would see whatever my art teacher has to say, and I can click on the inbox to see her or his schedule and my activities that I should be doing in that class as well. And that is Seesaw at a glance. Next up, Schoology. Schoology will be used by 3rd grade students to access classes, daily schedules, assignments, and messages. 2nd grade students may use Schoology as well to access some resources and online textbooks. Schoology login procedures. So students will navigate to learn.d64.org, which is already bookmarked on the Chromebooks, and sign in with their D64 Google account.
Students, I'm here to show you how to get onto your Schoology account. So the easiest way to do this is you're going to look in your bookmarks toolbar, and you should have a folder called My School Apps, and one of the drop downs should say something with Schoology. It might look a little different than mine, but it should say something about Schoology. When you click on that, it's going to take you to the sign-in page. Make sure you choose your student account, which it will open if you are on your Chromebook. And when you are in, you will land on your course dashboard homepage, and you will see all your different courses from all your different teachers. If for some reason you have deleted your My School apps, you're going to navigate to learn.d64.org, and it's going to take you to the exact same login page. Thanks so much.
All right, so that's how you log in as a student to Schoology. Again, different course materials will be stored in Schoology under this Materials tab. So you'll see digital assignments, links to websites, multimedia content. There might even be links to Seesaw or, again, other websites in the Materials folder. Course content may not be accessible to students or parents before the start of the grading term. So I believe that on Thursday, on the first day of school, will be the first time that students are able to log in and see the course content materials for their classes. If they switch to this updates page, teachers can post daily schedules, news, and important reminders for students and families on the updates page. Their schedule for the day may be on top. They might also post polls or fun interactive discussions here. So messages can be found on the top toolbar, which is this dark gray or black toolbar on the top. And you'll see it looks kind of like an envelope, like an email. So what's nice is that teachers can directly message students on Schoology. So teachers and students can connect without the need to email parents. And the interface is similar to email, but restricted to communication with teachers only. So students are not able to interact with one another through messaging, but they can interact with any of their teachers to ask questions as needed. Navigating Schoology. Easily navigate between all classes to find content shared by different teachers. So to navigate between, you would click on Courses at the top. So we'll wait for that GIF to start again. You see right now they're going through the different folders on the materials page to be able to find content for that specific course. So you go to Courses on top. There's a drop-down menu for all the different courses that your students are enrolled in. Once you select it, you're brought to that course's homepage where you can scroll and look at materials and schedules. Zoom in Schoology. Teachers host virtual class meetings using the secure Zoom tool in Schoology. They may also choose to use Google Meets, but both can be linked in Schoology. Also on this top toolbar, you can find a calendar icon, and that will bring you to the Schoology calendar. And there you can see upcoming events and assignments due by their due dates, shared by teachers. Schoology Parent Access. So you would actually go to Schoology.com for parent access and a parent account. To get the access code, you are going to access the PowerSchool Parent Portal and click on Remote Learning on the left-hand toolbar to get our district's access code that you would type in to activate your Schoology account. If you need directions for how to do that, you can open up this presentation and click on this link, which will bring you to step-by-step. Again, you only have to do this the first time you sign up for Schoology, but you'll go to Schoology.com, you can select Parent, you'll have gotten the code from your PowerSchool ID, you'll enter your name, email address, and create a password. And once you log in, you'll be able to browse your child's activity by clicking the arrow to the right of your name and selecting your child's name from the drop-down menu. So it's really easy to sync multiple children. That's step 5. So you have the option of syncing up additional children with Schoology. To associate additional children, you'll click the drop-down facing arrow in the top right of your Schoology account, select Add Child, and enter the parent access code of your other children. Okay, step 2 is you can download the Schoology app. This is a choice. If you want to receive updates from your school and your child's teacher, you can also have the app installed on your phone so that alerts go directly there as well. Again, otherwise you can just sign into the Schoology website. Parent view. So if you look, this is a little screen recording from the parent view. You can view courses, groups that your students are in, the calendar, graded assignments, upcoming assignments. And again, you can view all of these things from multiple students. Parent messages. All D64 staff are already rostered. So if you wanted to reach out to a teacher, you can click on your messaging icon, which is again found on the top dark gray toolbar. It looks like a letter. You can simply type the last name to select the teacher, and you can send and receive messages through Schoology as well. All right, so that was an introduction to Schoology. Just a friendly reminder, the students may not have access to their content until the first day of learning. So again, I told you at the end I would review what is Securely. So Securely works within accordance to the Child Internet Protection Act requirements to keep students safe from harmful adult content and other malicious websites. It's a wide range of websites are blocked by the school and district through Securely. A list of these blocked sites is maintained in the Securely database, and activity and content are filtered accordingly. Securely constantly adds new websites to its database to ensure comprehensive coverage for your child and currently filters over 1 million websites. Securely filtering. The goal is to provide access to information and resources while blocking inappropriate sites for students. It also blocks inappropriate categories and records network misuse. So we'll be able to see if there's a pattern of behavior. General internet usage, search terms, and blocked sites attempted is tracked through this filter. Cloud-based web filtering company for K-12 schools that seeks to enable kids to take the first steps into a digital world responsibly. That's what Securely is. And again, we deploy Securely on all of our Chromebook devices. Here's a little intro video for Securely.
Hello, welcome to the Parent Portal by Securely. This is Mark, and I'm here to give you a quick walkthrough on how parents can keep track of their child's online activity on the Securely Parent Portal. You will get an email from Securely in your inbox. The email gives you a snapshot of the sites that your child has visited, items searched online, and videos watched. To get an in-depth view of online activity, the parent must click Go to My Portal. This will take the parent to Securely's Parent Portal registration page. Just a couple of boxes to check, and you're signed up for free. Now that you're in, you can see a complete picture of what the kid has been up to. The entire list of sites visited, videos watched, stuff searched. If there is something to be concerned about, we will show it in the Flagged Activity tab. Next up, there is the Account tab, where you are able to change your password. The Connections tab here will show you if there is any other parent associated with your child. You can accept or reject that connection. Once the connections are established, this tab will be empty. There will be no more connections to show. So, this was one way of accessing the parent portal. There are other ways to do it too. When you sign up, you receive a welcome email from Securely. The email will have your username and password. You can use these credentials to log into the parent portal from the Securely website. A simpler option is to just click Let's Go and sign in directly. You would arrive at your parent portal dashboard and see the child's data. Easy as that. Raising responsible digital citizens is just as important as raising socially responsible kids. Securely's parent portal allows the school and parents to share that responsibility by keeping them informed and engaged. Thank you for signing up for the Parent Portal by Securely. Have a nice day.
Okay, so that was some information about the Securely Parent Portal. It provides you access to view your children's online activities and productivity on school-owned devices. You can scan that QR code on your phone for more information about the Securely Parent Portal, or click on the link if you have this presentation open. I do know that if you're signing into Securely, you will need to use the email that you registered and that you use for the PowerSchool Parent Portal when you registered your students for classes. Parents are able to, so here's some features, have emailed weekly internet activity reports. You can view flagged activity, block websites at home at your discretion. Again, because we are remote learning, just keep in mind you wouldn't want to block YouTube or something during the day because teachers may have students trying to access videos on YouTube. So just try to be a little more cognizant of that type of thing during remote learning, and see all your students from one dashboard, which is nice. If you have any Securely questions, you'd want to contact Mike Jolly. He's our Securely Student Safety Coordinator, and his email address is located on there. Or you can contact Mary Jane Warden. She's our D64 Director of Innovation and Instructional Technology. Her email is listed as well for your reference. Additional resources and information. Again, these are all links you can click through on how to connect to your home Wi-Fi, Apple AirPrint instructions, which is more relevant if you have a K1 student, but just in case you have students in multiple grades, it's all on one slide for you. D64 technology, our handbook, and then there's also some helpful digital citizenship links on here. Common Sense Media is a great one, as is Need Help Now. So if you wanted to read some articles or do some activities with your students about digital citizenship, you could find resources at those links. Okay, thank you so much. Please don't have
Okay, thank you for watching the video. Hopefully that gave you the information that you need to have a good first day. We are going to answer some of the questions that came up in the chat box. So one of the questions was about Schoology and parent access. So if you have a caregiver or a grandparent who needs to connect to the Schoology app, they can get the code from you as the parent, from the teacher. They will share an access code with you, and then you will be able to link onto your account within the Schoology.com. So you're not going to go to the learn.d64.org. That's for student login, but for parent or guardian access, you go to Schoology.com. And if you have the links to this presentation, which I have put in the chat box and also will be posted on the website, you'll be able to go through the presentation and find all those links there for you. A question about Zoom. Someone was concerned about the security of Zoom. And so we have the links set up through Schoology where they click into their classroom teacher's link. And what that does is it prevents any outsiders from coming in. The teacher also puts in an extra security measure called the waiting room. And so students have to wait to be admitted in, so the teacher is able to see the child's name posted there so that they know that they're the ones asking to come inside. Within Zoom, teachers also have the flexibility of if, let's say, something were to happen, they can kick that person off immediately and they will not be able to re-enter into the meeting. So those are just some security measures that we have put in place as we use Zoom this school year. And again, if you're looking for your child's email address or their password, you can always find it in the parent portal, and that is through PowerSchool. And then on there, you can also access if you have any requests, if something happens with the device and you're not able to get it fixed at home through troubleshooting, like turning it off and then back on, you can always use the help desk ticket system within your parent portal, and you can send a message, and then Kathy will receive that message and she will answer it as soon as she has time to go through her different emails. And then one of the questions was, are teachers going to communicate with parents through Schoology or through regular email? So your teachers will communicate that with you, which communication tool they're going to use. Most likely they're going to use the Schoology tool, because then you are able to see your child's work. So if there's any homework that was posted, or if you're curious to know what the activities of the day look like, you can also sign in and see those things posted, and then you can follow along with your child and have that conversation about their day.
Did you see the question about the family Seesaw app? They wondered if they have to sign in with their kids' Gmail account, or do they use their own email?
So for the parent Seesaw app, the teacher is going to give you an invite code. So they're going to either add your email if they have it already, and then you'll get an email inviting you to the class. If you don't receive that email, then the teacher is most likely going to send that information to you, requesting you to sign up, and it gives you directions. If you signed up last year, you will be automatically signed up, but you may not see it right now because we haven't put parent access on. We haven't turned it on. It's going to be turned on September 1st. So on September 1st, if you're still not able to connect, please contact the classroom teacher and let them know that you would like to access the parent portion of Seesaw. And you will need a separate app for that on your own device. But students who are using Seesaw on the regular basis every day, they're going to have it on their Chromebook in the bookmarks on the top left-hand corner. They're going to click there. If the bookmark isn't there, they can go to web.seesaw.me and sign in with Google. It's a must that they sign in with Google. They do not put their Google email address and password first. They first click the sign in with Google, and then it'll prompt them to put their credentials in. And some questions were about the securely filtering. So if they're using the district device, then the filtering will be there, and it will filter just like you saw in the video. Some of those things you can also monitor on your side as a parent, and you can block things and see what your child goes to. So that's why we strongly encourage you to use the district device. One, so that the student gets practice with that device, so that when they go back to school, they're already familiar with using it, and so that those filtering tools are in place for their safety. On Thursday, do we just log in on Schoology at 8:50 a.m.? Yes, so your child will go to their Schoology link on the top left-hand corner of the Chromebook, and then they will go into their Schoology AM course, and they'll find their meeting link from the teacher within that course.
I don't know if you answered this, but somebody's question was, are we responsible for creating a Zoom account for our children? and linking with Schoology?
No, the beauty of it is that there will be a link that will automatically pop up within Schoology. So you will not need to download any additional apps. You won't have to download or go to the Zoom website. It will automatically appear for the child within Schoology, and that is placed there by the teacher, so it'll be within that teacher's course. And if you, the question was, does the teacher do live teaching through Seesaw for the second graders? So the students who use Seesaw, there will be a link, and that link will open within their schedule. It'll be there for them to access, and then the teacher will give them directions for what activities they're going to complete within Seesaw. So the first step is just to have your child go into Seesaw, find the link in the announcements or on the page, front page, and then they'll sign in and their teacher will be there to direct them for next steps. And there is messaging on Seesaw. So if you need to communicate with the teacher through the parent app, you can send them a message there.
And what, somebody else asked about the access code for Schoology. Is that something the teachers give out, did you say? Or is that in the parent portal?
Yes, well, no, for the parents, they have their own access code that the teacher will provide for the parent app. Like if you as a parent want to check. For your child though, they will automatically be signed into their teacher's class when they sign in with Google. And again, the courses are not activated currently, so you won't be able to go into the Schoology courses quite yet. So just be out on the, be in the lookout for the courses tomorrow when you sign in with Google. I'm not sure about PowerSchool. Schedule indicates that school starts Wednesday. I'm not sure why that says that. I can always look into that later, but technically students will be starting Thursday.
And somebody's asking how many hours will teachers be with the kids interacting with children each day?
So contractually, we're working on the minutes, but it's going to be 50% of their day. And for schedules, you will follow the schedule for the Thursday. The teacher will post it there. So the schedule will have the date and it will have the times for each subject. And students will not be able to communicate with each other through the message option in Schoology or within Seesaw. They only can communicate with their teachers. So if students are going to communicate with each other, it will be with the guidance of the classroom teacher where she would have to create an assignment for them to work collaboratively on. Teachers will not be using Google Classroom. Schoology and Seesaw have replaced Google Classroom for this school year.
There's a question about special ed groups. Is it going to be parallel with the general teacher group? I'm not sure what.
I can take that if you'd like.
Sure.
Yes, please.
No, that's fine. Yes, so there will be some time that students will be pulled out from their instruction in the classroom if that's the way the IEP is written. Sometimes the special ed teacher will push in, but they will be not, of course, not during a time when there's direct instruction. So it'll be either push in or pull out. But obviously, the special education teacher will be setting that time up with the students, and the parents will know what time those meetings will be taking place. Same with intervention.
Thank you. Students will be monitored on Zoom via breakout rooms. So students will be able to be placed into different locations where the teacher will be able to pop in and out of the Zoom calls to have either small group instruction or if students are to work independently. And that's going to help with time management. A lot of times students aren't used to having to set a timer for 30 minutes to go from class to class. So that Zoom link will be active and the teacher will direct them through these breakout rooms so that they know when to work independently and when to work in the group and then when to come back together, because the teacher will have full control over those different sessions going on at once. And then the schedules will be posted daily. So students will see it at the top of their Schoology account and it will tell you what time each subject will be. And then underneath that time and a little icon will be a link either to the course that has the Zoom link to it if it's like a specials class, or it will have a link to the course and then the Zoom link will be there as well. So it will be a daily schedule.
So I think I can take the next one also, if that's okay.
Sure.
With regards to primary challenge, yes, we will be having a primary challenge. Again, students will be given directions from the primary challenge teacher. And the same also goes for CFC. I do see that I'm jumping down a bit. Sorry about that, guys. But CFC will also be meeting with the CFC teacher, and that will run at the same time that the literacy and math is running.
So the schedule depends on the teacher if they post it at 7:30 in the morning or at 8 o'clock in the morning. A lot of them, depending on their time, will either do it at the night before. So it's something that they have to constantly change over. So I can't give you an exact time, but it will be there as soon as the school day starts for the child to access. And the 50% live teaching. So this depends on when the students have specials and whether or not the teachers are going to be doing small group instruction within the Zoom meeting. So it's going to look different depending on the child's schedule and whether or not that teacher is incorporating some differentiated instruction.
But it will begin at 8:50 because, as we said earlier, the students will log in at 8:50 and that's when attendance will be taken. And the teachers will be having their morning meeting. They'll be sharing the expectations of that learning day. So it will begin right away at 8:50. And
maybe you can speak to lunch periods.
the lunch period is going to be at the regular time beginning at 11:40. There will more than likely be breaks during the day for students as well. So once your child's teacher does provide you with that schedule, then you'll be able to see when those scheduled breaks will occur. But lunch every day from 11:40 to 12:40.
And students will be jumping from call to call depending on their schedule. So for example, if they have their homeroom teacher, if the reading block is first, the math block is second, they will stay on the Zoom call for that entire time. So it's for the 2 blocks. And then as soon as they have to go to a special, or if there's another service that they receive, they will leave that Zoom call to go into the Zoom call of the other teacher and then go back to class. So that's why we're trying to have the links at the top of the Schoology page every day so that whenever they go back to that course, it's always there and they won't have to fish for it through the feed. And again, the classes will be live tomorrow. So unfortunately, we can't tell you what everyone's schedule is going to be like, but those will be posted so that you can schedule your day around your child's schedule. It's possible. The question is, am I understanding that they'll be logged into Zoom the entire time, even when they're doing individual work? So if the teacher feels like the child can handle being on the background, where they can trust them that they can come back to class at the correct time, or if they can set a timer, then they would do that. But in the beginning, it's most likely going to be just that student will be on the Zoom call the whole time, but the teacher has the option of muting and closing the camera so that the student can still work independently without having any distractions. And then once the teacher is ready for them to come back on, they will call the child and they should be able to hear them if they have their volume up. And then they'll be able to put their camera back on, and they will be unmuted if the teacher needs their feedback or wants them to discuss something.
And I think as far as teaching students how to acclimate to different things, you know, you had seen in one of the earlier slides was kind of like a workspace for the students. So, you know, I would encourage you to print off your student's schedule and have that available and kind of have those conversations with your student. The beginning first few weeks of school, teachers are going to be really working and setting the routine with their students very much the same way they do that if we were in person learning. So this is the procedure for what we do when we need to get ready for math class. Here's the procedure for what we do when it's time to go to specials. All of that instruction is still going to be happening. It's just going to look a little different. So know that we are not expecting families to have the students acclimate all on their own. The teachers are going to be there to assist and to talk students through things as well. And yes, the goal hopefully is for the students always to gain independence. And so we will continue to support the students as long as they need that support.
And if you request from the teacher to have the schedule sent ahead of time, I'm sure they would be willing to give you the document that a lot of them created today, which had their full week schedule, and they can help you to navigate your own work schedule around your child. So just ask your teacher, and I'm sure they will be glad to share that weekly schedule with you. And textbooks are going to be online. They're going to be digital through Schoology. So in the video, when you access the presentation, it also walks you through that process of accessing the textbooks. So they will not get printed copies, is my understanding. It will all be digital.
So the teachers are looking to really be able to coordinate class schedules with regards to learning pods that families have created. In fact, even trying to make sure that grade level breaks are happening at the same time. So if there's a student in a learning pod in one classroom and another student in that same learning pod, but in a different classroom, that the breaks will line up as well. So please know that the teachers are working really hard to coordinate those schedules. The differences will come into play with specials and what special a specific classroom is going to on a specific time.
Currently, we don't have a virtual back to school night, but if we can definitely bring that back to the teachers to see if they would be willing to do some kind of video to introduce themselves, but we'll add that to our agenda to discuss as a staff.
Actually, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you there.
Oh,
So
please do. I probably don't know that. I'm new.
no, you're good. You're good. That's perfectly fine. We have had a virtual curriculum night, which is an opportunity for families to meet the teacher, and that currently is scheduled for September the 3rd. That's a Thursday evening, and we are discussing if that date is going to remain on the 3rd or if we're going to have to alter that date. So once I know that, that's why I haven't sent out that date yet. So once I know for sure, and that will be coming very soon, I will definitely communicate that to you. But know that we will have an event of curriculum night.
Thank you.
So a lot of questions about printing. Can you address that for people?
That's a good question. Most likely everything will be digital through the Google tools. That's the beauty of Google Chromebooks, is that they allow you to have seamless access with digital tools that are included, like Google Docs and Google Slides. So a majority of the assignments are going to be via the Chromebook. However, if a teacher would like the student to maybe write something on a notebook paper, these tools do have the option of taking a picture on the Chromebook. And so, for example, if this is my notebook, I can always take a picture and send it to the classroom teacher. So they might have students doing that, but most likely a majority of the work will be digitized. Materials pickup will be
on Monday. More information will be coming within the next day or two to give a specific time. We're going to have a similar schedule like we did for device pickup, where grade levels will be coming at different times. So know that that is going to be coming home very shortly. Teachers were assembling those materials today. So we need a little bit more time to get those put together, but you will be receiving information very shortly.
And the parent device orientation, I'm assuming this evening's presentation is recorded, so this will be posted on the website, and it will be on YouTube, I believe. And so then you can access it at the end of tomorrow. And so some of the digital books that are going to be offered are through Epic, but also we are working to possibly have library checkout, but I don't know too much about those details. So we're still working those things out.
Yep.
And there are IT staff available. And so if you have an issue, you could first reach out to the classroom teacher, and then they will direct you to the person who is able to help with your troubleshooting. You also can go to the parent portal and submit a ticket through there, and it will go directly to Kathy.
And the question is what materials, if everything's going to be online? That's a great question. Some of the grade levels will be having writing journals, where the teachers will be putting together journals for the students to do some writing. Also, with regards to our younger students with math, they'll be putting together some math manipulatives so that students can utilize manipulatives when working through their math problems. So it depends on the grade level as to what those materials will be.
And about screen time, so if you want your child to read a book, so the teachers are going to have that built into their schedule, where the students are going to be sent off to read silently, so that they do have that option to not look at a screen for an entire 30 minutes. So there's going to be some flexibility and some brain breaks that they're going to incorporate into their routines, so that students are getting up out of their chair, and they're possibly doing like a mini game that will help them to just get out of the same thing of just looking at a screen. I know exactly how that is. So yes, they will have some activities that will help with that. So you won't have to worry about it as a parent that they're going to be on there for too long.
Pickup times, I believe that's materials pickup time. At least I'm going to assume that. They will not be after school. They will be during the school hours. We will need the school personnel to help and to help distribute the materials. So if there is a concern and you will need to be bringing your student with you to come pick up the materials, that is fine for you to do. So I'm going to take the next one. Sorry about the books and their reading levels. So students will have access to RazKids, which is online. That's something that we did use last spring, if I'm not mistaken, Sophia and Kathy. That will be something that the students will have access to and the teachers will be using as far as what we're doing right now. That's where we're going to start off the year doing that.
Drop off of library books.
Anytime you can drop them off in the office or or when you're close by.
Well, and you're welcome for setting this event up and communicating. We're all trying to make sure that we're getting as much information out to families as possible, trying to communicate and events like this where we have chats and we can see the things that we might have forgotten to communicate or whatever. You guys are just being wonderful. I would also like to thank you, families that participated in our survey that we put out at the end of the school year, because a lot of the things that we're putting in place now are a result of the things that families shared with us, the things that were difficult, the ways that you would like to see things improve. So the partnership that we have is just amazing, and I thank you very much for it, because when we partner together, good things happen for everybody.
And we will be presenting this again at 8 p.m. and it is the same information. So if you have a child in both grade levels, you can just have watched this one and get the same thing. So, and again, we'll have this posted live, or not live, but we'll have the live recording posted for you to view at a later date if tonight's 8 o'clock session is too late for you.
I do want to address the alternate times for pickup for parents that are working from home or out of the home. Yes, I'm usually in the office or at school before 7 o'clock. So I have met some families prior to 7 o'clock, if that works. And if there is a time that's later in the day that you need to come, whether it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever, I will be there. Mrs. Williams will be there. We will work out our schedules to make sure that we're accommodating families so that we can get those materials to you. That's a very important part of what the teachers are going to be doing with their instruction. So just give us a call.
Okay, thank you families for joining us this evening, and we appreciate the time you have taken out to listen to all this information. And again, this will be posted on the website. So thank you for joining and have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.